student. Today we are going to discuss the topic that is unit number 3, and we have already discussed the different topics in before, and the continuation is going on, and today we are going to take a look towards the unit number 3. We have already discussed many topics, and this topic which is included in unit number 3, which we are going to clarify what is the meaning of these different things in unit number 3. Now, as we know that this is nothing but the syllabus as requested by different student. We are going to discuss this syllabus once again. Already we have discussed this syllabus many times, but few students have some confusion, and to clarify this confusion, we are going to continue this particular topic, that is the syllabus. In previous lectures, in starting lectures, we have completed this topic, that is discussion of syllabus. But till some student is having some confusion, they come to me and they ask to please give us some information related to syllabus. So here, this is nothing but the syllabus of the semester 1, that is first year semester 1, and this syllabus is newly designed and uploaded by the university on website. So here you can see that there is a semester number 1. This semester 1 is having the different parts. Say for example here, the botany course code is given botany 3, diversity of cryptogams 1. It is having the credits of 2 credits it is given, and it is having the minimum marks of 20 and maximum marks it is having the 50 marks. Now the second paper is there, that is bot 112, that is morphology of angiosperm, and it is also having the 2 credits and having the 50 marks maximum and 20 marks minimum. Likewise, in this particular semester, that is semester 1, there is a practical, that is bot 121. This lab course 1 is nothing but the addition of this particular paper and this paper. These 2 papers are added, and on this theory practical is based. It is having 1.5 credits, and it is having again 50 marks maximum and 20 marks minimum. So this is nothing but the first part of the syllabus, that is optional syllabus, or it is known as a core course. Okay. In last discussion we have seen that what is this core courses and all these things. Now again, along with these 2 subjects and practical, there is a communication skill in English, that is one subject, and along with that second language is also there, that is Marathi, Hindi, additional English is there, Urdu is there, Sanskrit is there. Whatever the second language you have gone to, you have selected, you have to get that particular second language. So it is also having the 3 credits and having 50 marks, maximum 50 marks and minimum 20 marks. So this is nothing but the syllabus of the first semester. Now this is nothing but the semester 2. The same thing is there as a first semester. Second semester is also having the paper, that is bot 211, diversity of cryptogams 2. So here you can see in starting we have discussed that what is the 2 parts, diversity of cryptogams 1, that is included in semester 1, while in semester 2 you can see, semester 2 you can see this particular part is there, diversity of cryptogams, but it is the second part of that cryptogams. So the same title is there, diversity of cryptogams 1 and 2. So it is having 2 credits and maximum 50 marks and minimum 20 marks. Along with that, you can also see the histology is there, then lab course 2 is there, communication skill is there, then second language is there. So along with that, you can also find here the constitution of India is included. So in starting of our college, your lectures, we have gone through this constitution of India. Then compulsory computer course is also added in your semester 2. So this is nothing but the syllabus which is included in your semester 1 and semester 2. Now moving to the next part, that is the syllabus. already we have gone through the unit number 1, and you know very well that unit 1 is having the inclusion of viruses. We have gone through the general characters of these particular viruses, classification of viruses, classification based on host, classification based on their types, based on their parameters. We have gone through the classification of viruses also, and along with this we have also completed the portion related to economic importance of viruses in last few lectures. Now moving to the unit number 1, having the another part, that is the structure and multiplication of viruses. So this part is nothing but the viruses. Now the another part is there, that is known as mycoplasma. In a mycoplasma we have to consider, we have to complete the general characters which we have completed already in last lectures. Then the bacteria is also included in unit number 1. In bacteria we have gone through the general characters, classification, ultrastructure, and the economic importance of this particular bacteria, along with the citrus canker as an example. So we have seen this part in last few lectures. Now the fourth point which is included in unit number 1, that is the cryptogams. Now in a cryptogams we have to go, we have to discuss the general characteristics, classification according to GM Smith and or up to class level. So this unit number 1 we have already discussed earlier. Now we have also gone through the unit number 2, that is general characters, classification to fish. So in this particular parameter we have discussed the algae. So unit number 2 is designated to the algae. So we have completed this first part along with the cyanophycine. We have gone through the nostoc as an example. Then we have gone through chlorophyceae with the example of Cara, xanthophyceae with the example of Vauteria, then Phaeophyceae as an example of Sargassum, and Rhodophyceae as an example of Batrachospermum. So this part is also discussed in earlier days. So if you have any confusion, if you have any problem, then you can directly come to me and we can discuss this particular part again. So we have gone through nostoc, Cara, Vauteria, Sargassum, and Batrachospermum. These are the example of these particular families. Okay. So we have gone through this part also. What we have seen is, in this we have discussed the systematic position. Say for example the systematic position of nostoc, systematic position of Cara, systematic position of Vauteria, systematic position of Sargassum, and along with the systematic position of Batrachospermum. The same thing we have done for all these things, that is occurrence of nostoc, Cara, Vauteria, Sargassum, and Batrachospermum. Along with that, we have completed the portion related to reproduction. Vegetative reproduction is there, asexual reproduction is there, sexual reproduction is there. All these parameters we have completed for these particular examples. Along with that, we have gone through the graphic life cycle of the parameters or examples given in the syllabus. So almost all we know all these things about the 5 different examples. Now today we are going to discuss the parameters in unit number 3. So unit number 1 already discussed, unit number 2 we have already discussed. Now unit number 3 is there. This unit number 3 is having the inclusion of fungi. So all this particular unit is the addition of fungi. So in this unit number 3 we are going to talk about the general characters, classification of the fungi, which is given by Alexopoulos and Wings in 1979. So this point we are going to discuss. Along with this, we are also going to look towards the economic importance of fungi. फंगीचे जे इकॉनॉमिक इम्पॉर्टन्स आहे ते सुद्धा आपण याच्यामध्ये डिस्कस करणार आहोत. Along with this, the second part is related to systematic position, occurrence, structures, reproduction, and life cycle of these particular examples. So again, just like algae which we have seen, in fungi also there is a group given and example is also given. We are going to discuss these particular examples with reference to this systematic positions, occurrence, structure, reproduction, and along with that we are going to draw the graphical cycle or graphical life cycle of these particular examples. Now, what is included in the example? Say for example, in oomycetes, albugo is the example given, which we are going to discuss. Then along with zygomycetes, mucor is given, ascomycetes, eurotium is given, basidiomycetes, agaricus is given, then euteromycetes, cercospora is given. Along with these, we are going to also discuss the topic like lichen, the types of lichen, Usnea is the example of the lichen, and economic importance of the lichen. So this part we are going to discuss in unit number 3. Now today we are going to talk about the general characters of fungi. Now the question arises in front of us, what is mean by general characters? So the general characters are the characters which are majoritarily used to classify that particular type of organism. Say for example, we are talking about fungi. So if we want to characterize or if we want to study the fungi, we need to know about the characters of the fungi. If we know characters of fungi very well, then obviously it is very easy to discuss all these topics related to fungi. Now the general characters of the fungi, after that unit number 3 we are going to discuss this unit number 4, and it is related to the assessment, that is continuing internal assessment is there, you have to submit your tutorials, assignment, then all these things is required to be covered by the student, and that is nothing but the unit number 4. So we can discuss this unit number 4 in later our offline class. So in this unit number 3 we are going to focus on the general characters of fungi. Now we know very well that fungi is included in kingdom, that is 5 kingdom system. So there are different number of kingdom system. The first kingdom is Monera kingdom in a 5 kingdom. First kingdom is Monera, second Protista, then third kingdom which is included in 5 kingdom system, which is worldwide accepted kingdom system, that is nothing but the fungi. Later on Plantae is there and Animalia is there. So this 5 kingdom system is having the base that is known as complexity, means what type of organism is there, what is the complexity is there, that complexity is used in a classification of these 5 kingdoms. So first kingdom is Monera, and obviously this kingdom that is Monera is very simple, and it is having the simple structures. Likewise Protista is there, this is also having the simplicity. But when we go for the fungi is somewhat complex than the Monera and Protista, but it is not very much complex like plant and animal. So more complexity is observed in plants and animal. So the general characteristics of fungi includes the first characteristic, that is fungi are eukaryotic, non-vascular, non-motile and heterotrophic organism. This is nothing but the characteristics of fungi, or we also called it as a definition of fungi. म्हणजे याच आपण या सगळ्या वर्ड्सला आपण फंगीचे डेफिनेशन म्हणून सुद्धा वापरू शकतो. से फॉर एक्झाम्पल फंगी आर eukaryotic. Now the first thing which we know very well about eukaryotic organism and prokaryotic organism. We discussed this topic in a bacteria also. What is eukaryotic? Eukaryotic organisms are those which is having the evolved one, which is having the developed nucleus. That is eukaryotic. That is the meaning of eukaryotic. We already discussed this topic. Okay. So when we go for the opposite part of eukaryotic organism, there is prokaryotic organism. Means not much developed organism is there. So this includes, say for example, the bacteria. So eukaryotic means having the developed nucleus. So fungi is having the developed nucleus or nuclear material, that is eukaryotic. This is nothing but the developed material which is known as the nucleus. So in bacteria, when we compare this fungi, the nuclear material is not developed, and that's why bacteria is known as a prokaryote. Whereas in fungi, this nuclear material, or we can say a nucleus is present, and that's why they are known as the eukaryote. Now the next one is non-vascular, means obviously there is no vascular development, no vascular bundles is there, or vascular system is not developed in this particular fungi. When we compare this fungi with plants, we can say they are non-vascular. Whereas when we take a look towards the plants is generally known as a vascular organism, or they have a vascular system developed. So that is the difference between the plants and bacteria. So we can say that fungi is placed in between plants or kingdom Plantae and kingdom Monera. So this is nothing but the eukaryotic and non-muscular. Then next is non-motile. Obviously they are non-motile. Non-motile means they cannot move from one place to another place, and that's why they are non-motile. And along with that, they are heterotrophic organisms. Now this is most important topic, that is heterotrophic. Now what is heterotrophic? We know that there is a two types of organism found on earth. One is known as heterotrophic and autotrophic. Now what is autotrophic? Autotrophic, for example, plants. Plants can prepare their own food, so they are known as autotrophic. On the other hand, you can see there is a heterotrophic organism. They cannot prepare their own food. Now what is the reason? Reason, development. In heterotrophic organism there is no development of chloroplast. So you can see the plastids which is present in plant is absent in fungi. That is nothing but the chlorophyll. So due to absence of chlorophyll in fungi, they act as a heterotrophic organism. Now can you say what is human being, whether autotrophic or heterotrophic? Obviously humans are heterotrophic because we cannot prepare our own food. Otherwise what happens? If we feel hungry, we can go to the light and our stomach will fulfill. So we cannot do this because we don't have that particular chlorophyll pigment in our body, and that's why we are also included in a group known as heterotrophic organism. So we cannot prepare our own food, and that's why we are also heterotrophic organism. So likewise, the fungi is also heterotrophic. We repeat this. What is the fungi? Fungi are eukaryotic, non-vascular, non-motile and heterotrophic organism. So this is the most important characteristic of fungi or fungi that defines the fungi also. Now here the small look we can take. There is a number of organisms which is present on earth. They are categorized into two groups, eukaryotic and prokaryotic. So either one can include it in prokaryotic or it is included in eukaryotic. So take a look towards human being. Human beings are organisms and they are included either as a prokaryote or eukaryote. Now what is meant by eukaryote? Eukaryote means developed nucleus, and pro means not that much developed. So human beings is having a well developed nucleus, so obviously we can add a human beings in eukaryotes. Likewise, when we talk about plants, plant is also having a developed nucleus, so plant is organism and this is included in eukaryote. Now when we talk about bacteria, bacteria is organism, but it is not included in eukaryote, it is included in prokaryote because they don't have a particular type of nucleus or developed nucleus, so they are known as prokaryotic. Now the second characteristic is there, they may be unicellular or multicellular. So fungi is sometimes a unicellular or it will sometimes a multicellular organism. Say for example, some fungi is having the unicell. Can anybody tell me the unicellular fungi? Yes, Saccharomyces is the most important example of unicellular fungi. Whereas some organisms are or some of the fungi are multicellular. Say for example, mucor. So the fungi may be unicellular or multicellular in their structures. They reproduce by Now what? They reproduce by different means or different modes. Particularly a vegetative and asexual type of reproduction is observed in fungi. But some fungi shows the sexual reproduction also. But they generally reproduce by vegetative mode of reproduction or by producing a different types of structure like spores, conidiospores. So they are the most importantly reproduced by asexual mode of reproduction or vegetative mode of reproduction. Fungi exhibit the generation of the parameters. So what we can say, they will show the particular type of structure. With that particular type of structure, they show the alternation of generation. Means, say for example, fungi is produce spores. The spores will germinate, and after germination, they will produce the thallus. So thallus is produced. Again, on this thallus, the spores are produced. The spores will germinate, and again the thallus is also produced. So they shows alternation of generation. Means alternation is there. One time spores are produced, one time thallus is observed. So alternation of generation is observed in a fungi, and that's why they exhibit the alternation of generation process in fungi. Fungi lacks chlorophyll and hence cannot perform photosynthesis, and that's why they are known as a heterotrophic organism. So as we discussed earlier, they don't have the pigment known as chlorophyll, and that's why most of the fungi is observed in colored structure. So for example, some fungi is observed in red, black. Mostly the black color is observed in fungi, but sometimes you can see blue color is there, white color is there, purple color is there, blue color is there. So different color is there, but the green color is not observed in a fungi because they have absence of this chlorophyll pigment, and due to that absence of chlorophyll pigment, they are known as heterotrophic organisms. So these are nothing but the different characteristics of fungi. Along with that, the fungi stores the excess food material in their body, okay, and they can survive for different times. So these are nothing but the different characteristics of fungi. Okay, take a look. Some fungi, biosynthesis of chitin occurs in fungi. Now what is chitin? As we know that different organism is having a external covering. Say for example, human beings is having the external covering of skin. Same thing will occur in fungi, that is the presence of chitin. The chitin is external structure which covers the fungi, and this chitin is made up of sugar parameters. Okay. Now the nuclei of fungi are very small. The size of nuclei is very small. Though it is small, it is a developed one, and that's why they are known as eukaryotic. The fungi have no embryogenic stage. They develop from the spores. So there is a development of spore. There is no embryonic stage, and they show the alternation of generation with this. The mode of reproduction is sexual or asexual. This also includes the vegetative type of reproduction in fungi. Along with that, some fungi are parasitic, can infect the host. So as they are heterotrophic, they cannot prepare their own food. They act as a parasitic type of fungi and infect their host. The best example is there. Fungal infections in humans is there. Fungal infection in plants and other living organism is there. That is nothing but a parasitic, and it will infect the host. Fungi produce a chemical called pheromone, which leads to sexual reproduction in fungi. So sexual reproduction in fungi takes place with the help of this particular type of hormones. And the next example is mushroom, molds and yeast. So example of this one is mushroom, molds and yeast. So these are nothing but the general characteristics of fungi. Hope you know or you understand this particular topic today. If you have any any confusion or any query, you can ask me in offline mode also. Okay. Thank you.